tissue here that helps to anchor the intestines, both large and small, but also allows convenient, easy blood distribution, and so the blood can be sent to all areas at once instead of starting at one end and running out of oxygen halfway through. It's distributed quickly and then pulled back. So this one, because it's supplying the large intestine, would actually be the inferior mesenteric artery. Here it goes, and it quickly divides off and supplies the whole colon. The small intestine also has a mesentery. The plastic model, it's hard to see, but that's what the superior mesenteric is doing, supplying the small intestine in the same way, and actually supplies a little bit of this top region of the large as well. But basically the small intestine. So superior mesenteric artery, left and right renal artery, and inferior mesenteric artery. It doesn't show the gonadal arteries, but they would go to the gonads. But we don't have to know them for the breath. So now we're down in the pelvic region. The aorta comes to an end. It's going to be, this is the iliac region. Here's the iliac crest of the ilium bone. And so the iliac region, these are the iliac vessels here. So kind of like with the carotid, we start off with a common iliac artery, which is going to divide into the external and internal iliac arteries. So we've got a common iliac, left and right, and then the internal iliac arteries supply the pelvic region, and the external iliac arteries are basically a thoroughfare down to the legs. So that's where that's going. So the external iliac arteries, then we can't really see it so well on this side, but over here we can see that it becomes the femoral artery here, and there's actually the deep femoral artery here. So the femoral artery is mostly supplying the quads, and the deep femoral artery mostly the adductors. But so here's the femoral artery along the diaphysis, kind of like the brachial artery along the diaphysis here. We've got the popliteal artery. The popliteal is the back of the knee region, so this will be the popliteal region. So again, if I'm going to try to do it, I'll put the femoral artery right in the middle of its range, and the popliteal I'll point to the back of the knee. And then we've got the anterior and posterior tibial arteries. They're not the only things that really would be there, but that's what they show. So we can see this is the anterior tibial, because there's the tibia, and this is the posterior tibial artery. The only reason, it really didn't have to mention the foot, the only reason it mentions the dorsal pedis artery is that when we do the next lab, it's about finding different pulse points, and the dorsal pedis artery, you kind of feel up on the top of the foot here, up near the ankle, and try to, or near the top of the instep, and try to see if you can feel that rather faint pulse point. Not easy to feel, but there's the dorsal pedis. So that's just mentioned sort of for that reason. And then, just to complete the arteries, we've got the pulmonary. So the pulmonary trunk is going to come out of the deoxygenated right side. So here it comes. Then it's going to divide into left and right pulmonary arteries. So we're asking you to put left and right an artery and vein. We've been going along, all the red things are arteries, and suddenly I say, so what is this exactly? So it is a pulmonary artery, even though it looks blue. So be ready. All right. Then